that we do. And I think if you're getting lots of questions about products, shipping, and all of this stuff, you're probably attracting what you're presenting. Does that make sense? I tell people that people will investigate what you promote. Okay, and if you're promoting a massive shopping portal on the internet, home delivery and this and that, people will investigate what? Exactly what you've just promoted. Okay, so I think we need to give people a more fair and accurate, balanced perspective of really what it is that we do, because we're not just registering to become a shopper or a business owner through a website. There's something more to it. And so I'm going to challenge you to look for business owners, to look for people who understand that we're going to create teams. We're going to understand how to create duplication and create passive income. I think the best clue that we've got is by an author named Robert Kiyosaki. And he says, he described our business as a personal franchise for the average guy. Okay? How many know we're getting a little bit closer, right? A personal franchise for the average guy. It gives the little guy a chance to build a big business. I like that. I was just a little guy. I met a guy in a Chili's restaurant. I had flip-flops, Bermuda shorts, a red tank top, an earring to top it off. I'm dressed for business to meet a guy that ended up being a multi-millionaire in this industry. I mean, the guy, I had no idea. I just thought I was meeting the guy for lunch. I mean, he was loaded. I mean, most of he's so rich, most of his money is tied up in cash. And in fact, I tell people the last time he wrote a check, the bank bounced. I mean, this guy has built enormous buying power. And there I was, and that's how I saw this idea. And so it was a chance for a little guy to build a big business. But teaching business ownership, let alone wealth creation, because that's what we're doing. We're here this weekend, okay? Not to learn how to shop on a website. A few clicks, we can all learn that very quickly, can't we? We're teaching wealth creation, not poverty management, wealth creation. But yet it's so difficult sometimes to articulate that message, right? To help people understand that. And I know you're here this weekend to learn more about how to do that, how to create freedom and wealth for yourself and your family. And I think for most people, here's where most people are at. It's like getting on a treadmill, isn't it? I mean, right? You graduate from college and you hop on this treadmill, right? How many people you get on this treadmill? You start running, right? You're graduated, you started your job, and you're like, hey, look, mom, dad, got a job, paying off those student loans, and you're just kind of, you're on this treadmill, come over here, and you're doing pretty good, and you're starting your corporate climb, right? And eventually a boss comes up to you and says, hey, you're doing pretty good. He says, in 18 months, we're going to give you a raise. So you're like, hey, let's kick it up a little bit, right? So you're like, man, I can really make something happen with this company, and we're going to make things happen. Of course, eventually, a couple of years later, you are going to meet the woman of your dreams. Whoa! Now, so you buy a ring, you pay for a honeymoon, all these things. So you got somebody else to take care of. So now you got to kick it up a notch, right? And eventually, after you get married, the woman of your dreams comes up and says, honey, guess what? We're going to have a baby. Oh my gosh! It's like diapers and Disneyland. Oh my God, you got to take care of somebody else. And the apartment we live in is way too small. We got to buy a house. So now it's like, oh my gosh, you got to pay the payments. And then, of course, your neighbor, they just pulled up in the driveway in a BMW, and you got to buy a BMW, keep it up, and you're just trying to pay the bills to stay ahead to keep afloat. And then eventually somebody comes out and says, hey, if the money was right and it fit in your schedule, you'd be open to look at a great business idea. And you say, I'd love to, I just don't have time. And I'm out of breath, so, okay. But hey, is that where a lot of people are at or what? I mean, and we just got to understand that. And I've got to catch my breath a little bit, but we just got to understand where people are at. I think the problem, to be totally candid with you, the problem for most of us, we're not talking louder than the people on the treadmill. I mean, we're kind of casually mousing around with the program, and we're not talking louder than the people. The guy in the treadmill thinks he's got it made, right? But he doesn't, because someday he's going to have to pay for all that stuff, right? And I think, you look at the average person like that, I mean, what are they doing? They're selling their time to a company, 5 days, 6 days a week, 1 day for recreation, and they split town. They go to the desert, the lakes, the rivers, or whatever, to just get away from it all. Why? because the quality of their life sucks, right? And I'm telling you, that's where most people are at. I mean, they are just running a treadmill, and it's like, we just got to figure out a way to communicate to people, what we've got. So let me continue and try to answer it is what we do. I think a more satisfying answer to me is we're not looking to register people, we're looking to empower people. And that's really what we have is we're looking to empower people, to help them grow personally and professionally, to help people make a difference in their homes, a difference in their communities, and ultimately in the world. That's what we're looking at doing, is empowering people. So the message of free enterprise, of uniqueness, of individualism, of allowing people to take their gifts and use them inside of a business model. That's the future. That's what we're committed to doing. And that's what I'm committed to doing, is helping my friends do something great, to help my friends use their gifts and talents and as part of a team, as a blessing for everybody. And in fact, I heard it said that immigrants have a 4 times higher chance of becoming a millionaire than people that were born here. Imagine that. I mean, why is that? That immigrants come over here have a 4 times better chance. Why? Because they'll die for free enterprise. They'll die for the same freedom that you and I sit back and take for granted, because they understand that, right? And so we've got to